Many Nigerians relocating are stranded abroad, says Bishop Oyedepo. Hello everyone, welcome to Newsport TV, compliments of the season. The Chancellor of Covenant University, Ota, Dr. David Oyedepo, has lamented that many Nigerians who have traveled abroad are stranded in the foreign countries. Many people are moving abroad in what has now been tagged japa. He called on the federal government to massively invest in human capital to check relocation and restore the lost esteem of the country. Oyedepo made the appeal while speaking with the news agency of Nigeria, NAN, on Saturday in Ota, Ogun State. The Chancellor stressed the need for more investment in human capital development because this is the most viable and stable stock that any country could ever invest on. There's the need for more investment education because this is the bedrock of sustainable national development for any nation, Oyedepo said. He noted that the nation had lost its self-esteem because of the poor investment in human capital through education. The Chancellor therefore urged the federal government to create an enabling environment for youth to thrive in order to reduce those traveling out of the country. Parents need to reorientate their children, adding that traveling out of the country is not the best as there are many youths stranded in the foreign countries who could not come back home because of shame, he said. We all need to stay in Nigeria to rebuild and restore the lost esteem of the country. Everyone has a part to play in the recovery of his nation, he said. Let's take some of the comments. Somebody said, I would rather be stranded abroad than being in a failed country like Nigeria, where inequality and poverty will be staring you in the face morning, afternoon, and night, especially where your family is looking onto you after spending so much to see you through school. It's he who wears the shoes that knows where it pinches. Another person said, I know I agree, no place like home, nobody can deport me here, and I can never face xenophobia here no matter what. We just need common sense to do revolution in Nigeria and save our generation, instead of running away as cowards. Those places you are running to are not society of angels. Another person said, true talk, Nigeria go better since independence, rather it's getting worse. Many things that don't happen before is now part of life in Nigeria. It's your choice either to stay or if you have the opportunity to leave. I'm saying I'd rather be stranded abroad than having freedom in Nigeria with poverty staring me in the face. Another person said, it is only the living that can be patriotic. Another said, what have you done for those stranded here? You are cruising all over the place in the private jets, sacking pastors for not being productive, setting up schools your members cannot afford to educate their children. What are you talking about? How much were you paying when you were in higher institution? You are part of the problem, and that is why people have to japa. Another person said, Bishop, sir, you're talking about Nigerians stranded abroad. What about the larger number of Nigerians stranded in Nigeria? It's just a question of choosing where to be stranded for most Nigerians, here or your choice of japa destination. Another person said, the bishop said, we all need to stay in Nigeria to rebuild and restore the lost esteem of the country. That's a lie. Nigeria doesn't need all its citizens to stay to rebuild it. Because he makes his money here in Nigeria, he wants all of us to stay. Some of us are better off abroad. Please stop deceiving those who genuinely want to search for a greener pasture. Another said, well spoken. Another said, very correct. Another said, that is because they don't have a plan. Another person said, stranded in Nigeria or abroad, all are stranded. Another person said, the worst is even those that are abroad but came home to do one or two things but got deleted. What will you say about that? How many of you people's children are schooling in this country? Will you tell us that you have not gone to overseas for medical checkups while we have hospitals here? What effort have you people made to stop the deleting going on in southern Kaduna? I'm ashamed of all the Christian leaders in this country. So many priests and Christians were deleted last year. And what did you people do? Nothing. Okay, so those are the comments that followed the statements by Bishop David Oyedepo that many Nigerians relocating are stranded abroad. It's a known fact that life of abroad is a life of bills. From the moment you step into that country to stay in a house, you are constantly going to be living a life of bills. Does it mean that we don't incur bills in Nigeria? No. But the way those countries are structured, that's the non-African countries, is a structure of bills, systemic structure, and should I say, well regulated, where everything is almost documented. So you pay your rent mostly monthly. Of course, you pay your bills monthly and everything. But here in Nigeria, we are used to buying off our properties. Some people grew up living in their parents' homes. They still even got married and stayed in their parents' homes. So all they are used to is maybe paying tenement rates once a year, which some people don't pay, and of course NEPA bills, which they have to pay every month. But it's not, until recently, it wasn't a big deal to pay NEPA bills. It wasn't something that was choking, except in some areas in Lagos that now they complain of very high bills and all of that. And prepaid meter is also there. Now let's leave that part of that. Now abroad, you're going to pay for everything. You're going to pay every month for your accommodation where you stay. You're going to pay tax, council tax. You're going to pay gas bill, electricity bill. You're going to pay all those kind of bills, and by the time you sit down and look at what is remaining, not forgetting the fact that from the point of collection of your salary, you are going to be taxed. And some countries tax you so heavily that by the time you take a look at it, you'll be like, what am I saving? What have I worked for? So it's a continuous rat race that a lot of people have decided to either leave the spot they are in abroad to another country where maybe the tax is not so much, or maybe because there are better opportunities, or maybe where things are a bit cheaper. Now for UK, where a lot of Nigerians have found to be home to them, there's been chaos in the economy. The constant increment of everything has gone overboard. And so people are weighing their chances to say, should we stay or should we go, and all of those kind of things. But the problem is a lot of people do not necessarily decide to come back to Nigeria. They can't even stand coming back to Nigeria. Most of them have sold everything they had when they were leaving. Some had built houses, they bought plots of land, and in fact all properties, so that kind of person who has gone abroad maybe for a number of years, coming back without having to have saved enough to even say, okay, I want to buy a building, or I want to buy land, or that a lot of them do, but not anymore. It will be like, what am I coming back home to come and do? People have been looking up to me that, oh, I've gone there to make money, to see greener pastures. How will I come back without having nothing? So it's just it leaves a bitter taste in our mouth. And honestly, a lot of Nigerians now are stranded different places abroad. Even some professionals who are there are complaining of working too hard, long hours of work, that their mental health is distorted. And we can only weep for Mama Africa to say, Africa, how have your children become slaves even after many years of independence? Like someone will say that this is modern slavery. If they should bring big ships and tell Nigerians free of charge, japa inside it, let's go, they are going to go willingly without anybody putting chains in their hands, because they just want to leave the country for many reasons. Some are not even leaving the country to become wealthy. They are just leaving the country to go to a place where things work, where their lives are secured, where there is electricity. Even if they are paying through their noses, it's available, their children are safe, their children are protected, the laws are active and working, the enforcement agencies are not deleting them or harassing them on a daily. So those are just kind of things, we're like, as beautiful as God has given African weather, especially Nigerian weather, they come here to amass all the wealth we have, while we are languishing in poverty and bad economy, majorly because of the kind of leaders that we've been punished with, so to speak. We need to speak to ourselves and know exactly what works for us, because for now, it's all man for himself, God for us all. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. For our existing subscribers, thank you so much. And if you're a new subscriber here, thank you for joining. Please, we hope you stay. I believe in Nigeria. Nigeria will work again, but we need to do the needful. See you in the next video. Please stay safe out there, and bye for now.